Hi, I'm Wellness Coach Christina Roberts, here for your vitality. And today we're going to talk about a really cool tool called the Wellness Wheel and how you can use it to prioritize your activities in order to support your own health and happiness. You can use it a variety of ways, and it's a good idea to use it multiple times because things change as we move along. Three of the best ways or times to pull it out is if you're feeling stuck or off track or just generally out of balance. If you are at a point where you may be shifting into a different life stage, or you've had a major life event where you want to seek clarity in where to go from there, it's a great tool for that as well. And also just to stay focused on what matters most. Once you've done your wellness wheel, having it handy can be a good visual cue just to bring you back to focusing on what matters when, those distractions that happen every day tend to get in the way. So today we're going to define the wellness areas of your life because although they are similar for a lot of people, how we define them is unique to ourselves, and what we tend to rank in order of priority at different times of life varies. So it's really important for us to know for ourselves what our personal wellness areas are and to keep them top of mind. Once that's happened, then it's really just going to be a matter of assessing where you're at in each of those areas. And once that picture is clear, use it to identify what to do or focus on in order to achieve more balance. So all you need is the Wellness Wheel Worksheet, which you hopefully have downloaded. If not, the link is there for you to use it. And either a pencil, pen, or if you'd like to add some color to your Wellness Wheel, markers or pencil crayons work nicely too. So what is wellness? Well, according to Merriam-Webster, it's the quality or state of being in good health, especially as an actively sought goal. And that's really important, an actively sought goal. And it is true that there are those situations where, we can be doing everything right and illness can still cross our paths. And then, we all know those other people who seemingly do everything that is recommended not to do for health and end up dying of old age without any illness or disease. But for the great majority of us, lifestyle matters. And what we do from day to day, what we think about, how we speak, all of those things influence our well-being. So if we actively seek wellness through what we do, how we think, how we speak, we can shift from moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, and long term when we're talking about chronic illness in terms of the prevention, or if it's too late to prevent it, at least avoid it from worsening, or in an even better scenario, improving wellness. So what I'm going to ask you to do today is just to take some time to reflect, use that time of reflection to reset and get a firm focus on what's important, and then use that refocusing to move forward. The first question is, what areas impact your well-being? Like I mentioned before, there are similarities with all people, but when you ask them to name the areas specifically or how they would categorize it, it really varies. And sometimes people like to subdivide, they like to subdivide categories into smaller areas. Some people like broad sweeping categories. It's really individual. But what matters most here is that whatever you name that area, it is meaningful to you. The first part of the exercise with the wellness wheel is just to brainstorm what those areas are. And with any good brainstorm, a timer is a pretty good idea. Maybe set it for 3 to 5 minutes. And there are no wrong answers when it comes to brainstorm. Just get a free flow and write down all of the things that come to mind in terms of the areas that make you feel healthy and happy. Once you're done, then you can go back to your list and make any finalizations that you'd like to make. Depending on how broad you went and how many there are, the only caution I would say is if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. So I would suggest no more than 10 categories. I mean, fewer is fine as well, but I wouldn't go too many more than 10. It can really dilute the process. Then take your wellness wheel and divide it into however many categories you defined and label each of those. I'm going to ask you to rank each of those areas. So 1 in the center of the wellness wheel would indicate that you're not satisfied at all with that key area of wellness, while 10 indicates that you're extremely satisfied and there's really no work required there. How you do it really depends on you. The first example is just as good as this one. This one's just a bit more colorful. So what's most important is that the categories reflect you and that the ranking is as things are today. So it's just a snapshot of where you're at today. Here's another. And you can see people are labeling them very differently from wheel to wheel, but there's definitely similarities. Like in this one, this individual, their career, their family and friends, significant other, romance, fun and recreation, health, money, personal growth, physical environment are all important to them. This one has workspace, recreation, again, similar, but not quite the same. Once you finish that, then I'm going to ask you to analyze. Identify what area you're most satisfied in, as well as the one that you're least satisfied in. And then take a look at the areas that are closest to being in balance. This individual's wellness wheel has highlighted 6 key areas: business, friends, family, personal passions, spiritual, and health. So they're not very happy in their business environment right now, but their personal passions and family are doing really well. Friends and spiritual and health are closer to the median. And this individual has 8 different categories that they identified as job, health, finance, hobbies, fun and challenges, learning, friends, and family. They have quite a few that are in balance. Their job, their health, their hobbies, their fun and challenges, and their learning seem to be pretty good on average. Finance, a little better than everything else. But in the area of friends and family, they're falling a bit short. You can start to ask yourself, how can I bring the areas that matter most to my wellness back into balance? I like the analogy of a wheel because if there's a flat spot, things don't run along smoothly as well as it does when it's fully balanced. So if there's a spot maybe where there's too much and another spot where there's not enough, in comparison to the other areas, It identifies for us opportunities where we can make some shifts to our daily activities to bring all of those things into harmony and a bit better balance so that we can roll through life a bit more smoothly. In making your plan to move forward, just think about things, what area you do want to focus on achieving better balance with. And also, what specifically are you going to do to achieve that? Trust your gut and go from there. Record the date because, as we saw at the beginning, our wellness fluctuates. We can periodically refer back to where we were and where we're at now and decide where we want to go from here. Also, writing down the goal gives you a concrete idea of where you're going to go next. And effective goal setting is a subject all on its own. But what I do want to leave you with is to make sure that that goal is something that you have control over. It doesn't depend on other people or other situations. It's something specific that you can take charge of and that you can integrate into your life. Thanks for watching. I hope the Wellness Wheel becomes an effective tool on your wellness journey, and I look forward to connecting with you again. And if you haven't had a chance already, sign up for the Wellness newsletter so we can keep in touch. Be well. Namaste.